You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy Star ship has been designed.
Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. Welcome to Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast on BQN. I am your host, Counselor Amy Nelson, and with me I have a full crew, Diplomatic Standard Bearer Kevin Scarf. Kevin, hello.
Hello. Good to be here.
And I'm sorry, what?
That it's good to be here.
It
with
is.
Everybody.
It's I know, a full crew. Well, let's get to Chief Recreational Officer Ria Papagiorgio. Hello.
Hello. Great to see everybody.
Oh my gosh. And the endless Joe Keegan.
Hi, Amy. So before that, what did you think Kevin said a minute ago?
I
you seemed
talking
genuinely
and I
shocked.
didn't...
Okay. Interesting. The Endless. I binged watched all of Netflix's The Sandman series. And yeah, hence The Endless.
Okay.
So are you dream, death, desire, or delirium?
Oh, there's another 3, isn't there? Destruction. Despair.
Yes.
And somebody else.
Diarrhea?
No, I don't think so, but...
Oh, I can't remember. I'm just at all of them. It's quite inspired. It's an amazing TV show. You should watch it. It's on Netflix. Based on Neil Gaiman's graphic novels, comics. It's very excellent.
Interesting. Well, since there's no Trek, I've started watching The Expanse on Amazon.
Oh, I hope you're liking it.
Well, Norm, the great Norm Lau, got me the book, and so I read the book, and I have been meaning to get to watching the series, and now there's no Trek, and I'm like, oh, what should I watch? And I'm like, this is the time. So yeah, I'm like on episode 4, and it's so fun because like you see parts, and I'm like, I remember reading this in the book exactly as this is. It's pretty good. Yeah.
I never read the books, and I found the first season a bit slow, but it really picks up, and it became one of my favorite shows by season 3.
Oh, okay. How many seasons are there?
5?
Wow.
5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really
Okay, Okay, well, I'm starting, so wish me luck, guys.
And there's no Orville now, either.
Is the Orville done?
Oh,
Yeah, the Orville's done. I think, isn't it? Because
so
that was
sad.
this...
Wait, is there one more out, Joe?
There was the season... I'm
'Cause
sure that
we
was the season
watched-
finale.
The one that we watched together
Yeah, I think... Is there not 2 after that?
with the Kalon? I don't know.
I think there's 2 after
think-
that, yeah.
So, was the season finale?
Oh, so then I'm behind one,
Yeah.
right, Joe?
The season finale, the last one, there is... You see their dress uniforms. They all get dressed up.
Wait, do I need to plug my
Okay,
ears?
Joe.
No, that's I'm keeping it really, really vague. So they all get dressed
Yeah.
up in their dress whites.
But Joe, is that the one that we watched together with
No,
the
I
Kalon?
literally just watched it.
Okay.
It was out on
Okay.
Thursday there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one more to catch up on.
Episode
Okay.
10, yes. I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we should ask
Ria,
Mike. Oh, yeah?
what have you been watching? Oh, wait, you haven't been watching TV. You've been out and about.
I've been booting a boot, you could say, yeah. I am...
It's my line.
It's an
Sorry, I
awful
didn't do it with
Canadian
God-
stereotype.
Well, I'm back in my hometown, my village in Greece, where there are quite a few Greek Canadians. Greek Americans and Greek Aussies. And actually, a Brit threw a tantrum on the beach today. He's screaming at someone in Greek, and then he starts screaming in English. And I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's British. But no, I am currently up in the mountains in a remote little part of the Greek Peloponnesos. Yeah, tickled that I'm actually able to see you guys from up here. So all four of us are in 4 different countries, 4 different time zones. Before that, I was in Italy for a few days for my cousin's wedding. And yeah, currently, I'd say homeless, aside from this homeless in the US. So bouncing around for a few weeks until I get to Arizona via Vegas. So yeah, kind of exciting stuff.
That's right. Yes, listeners, Rhea and I will be there at STLV. Well, I live in Las Vegas, so I'll be around tangentially. Apparently, the tickets sold out. I procrastinated thinking, oh, I don't need to buy tickets. I'll just go because that's how it's always been. Mm-hmm. And so I'll be there in the evenings. But Rhea will be there the whole time. So you're going to have to give all of the reports and, all the fun.
Ooh, maybe I can do some on the floor interviews if I can figure out the technology.
Yeah.
There you go.
See if they don't move it back to the beginning of August, I'm going to become a supervillain.
I'm sure it's just because of the change of venue this year. So, fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
I don't see it going back to the beginning of August. Which is where I need it to be, but...
Yeah, it's sort of like everybody with a family needs it to be.
Yeah. Not during school. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for all of us teachers.
Yeah.
Well, school doesn't start till September here, so it's all good.
Rhea! Yeah. Yes, Rhea, tell us what's coming up.
Yes, the day this episode drops, if you have Amazon Prime, there's also a TV series that drops that day called A League of Their Own, based on the league, the actual league the women played in, not based on the movie, but with the same title, so it's not all confusing. But I was lucky enough to be an extra in the pilot, so if you see a left-handed batter, that'll be me. You might see my feet, you might see me in the background, that's about it.
That's awesome.
But excited for the series.
That's very cool.
Yay.
Very cool. And that's on Amazon?
Yep. So if you're into non-sci-fi viewing, watch A League of Their Own.
I might be tempted.
Yes.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
Well, listeners, we have a very special episode for you today because we are celebrating our 100th episode of Galaxy Class. 100, you guys, we made it.
Was there any doubt that we wouldn't? Of course not.
Well, let's see. How many networks have we been on? I think there was a doubt.
Networks come and go, but we will be forever until we all die.
Galaxy Class survive. Just wait till episode 1,000. It'll be awesome.
Oh.
Are we still talking about this?
There won't be much left to say, will there?
No.
It's okay. We'll be old. We won't remember that we're just repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
That is the truth. We're going to have any ideas left? All right. So for today, we decided to just go through our wonderful crew and talk about an episode that highlights them. And we'll just sort of go round robin and see what episodes come up. And listeners, you can play along and let us know your favorite character episode. So let's start with the one and only Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So Kevin, what is a good Picard episode? Like if someone doesn't really know much about Picard, what's one that you would say, watch this?
Okay, I tried to stay away from episodes that are about their families and their backgrounds and episodes that really showcase them doing what they do best. So I chose Darmok as my Picard episode. It's really,
choice.
it's Picard learning to communicate, being a diplomat in a very, very difficult situation, and it's just, I think it's probably one of his finest moments.
Indeed. Such a good episode. I love episodes where we learn how to communicate. And I think it's so brilliant for the writers to even think of communication that way.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Kevin, his choices, podcasting, successful.
Okay.
Joe is fluent in many languages.
Yes.
Including metaphor.
Took me a minute to figure that out. But. So naturally, I misunderstood the assignment, and I had picked an episode that showcased like the whole crew, whatever. But now, as I'm sitting here thinking about it for Captain Picard, actually, I'm gonna stick with this one, Chain of Command parts 1 and 2, because although Captain Picard is for most of the episode not in command, we get to see him while he's being tortured, which if your true colors are going to come out, it's under torture, and we get to see we see him kind of on a covert away mission, and then of course when he's captured and tortured and how he resists, and then that vulnerability at the end when he approaches Counselor Troy. I think we see kind of a broad spectrum of Captain Picard's character by those episodes.
Very good choice. Yeah. I mean, we get to see him. He's got to withhold information from his crew, and we can see that tension and how awkward that is for him because he doesn't like, keeping things back, and to the torture and his trying to talk to Gul Madred. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
That is a great episode. Oh, it's a heavy episode.
Yes.
But it's got Captain Jellicoe in it.
Yes. Joe's favorite.
No.
And if we learned anything, we learned how many lights there are.
Yes. And we would like to offer our condolences. Rest in peace, David Warner.
Oh, of course.
Just passed.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Your Picard episode.
Well, I chose one. Obviously, there's a bunch of ones that initially pop into mind. But I thought I'd choose maybe my favourite one because we start to see Captain Picard in a maybe different light, and that is Lessons. And I love. I think I remember. I know I've mentioned it like every podcast for the last 5 or something. So in Lessons, we see Captain Picard getting a love interest, and it's Lieutenant Commander Nella Darren, who's a concert pianist, which is another reason why I love the episode. But obviously, being his subordinate, she has to go on sometimes dangerous missions, and he finds that he can't actually be in love with somebody that he potentially has to send to their death, so they call it quits and she puts in for a transfer, and it's quite tragic. But we get that wee glimmer of hope that he's going to find someone, because everybody else does. So that's my choice.
Yeah, it is good to see Picard, how he relates to music, because that just adds a whole nother level to him that we don't really get to see.
True. What about you, Amy? What was your choice?
Well, I was this close to choosing Tapestry, but I really am going with Measure of a Man. And I feel like because this showcases how far he's going to go and support and defend and fight for his crew, and here fighting for Data. Yeah, I love it. It's a really good episode. And I think Picard does great. And he's, still, it epitomizes him staying within the confines of the rules, but making the rules work for him.
That was one of my possible choices, either Measure of a Man or The Drumhead. Because TNG does a good courtroom drama, as we mentioned last week. But I thought I'd go somewhere different. So I'm kind of glad that we all picked different episodes.
Yeah. That's why I had Tapestry, because Joe, I really thought you were going to go Measure of a Man. So since you didn't, I'm like, all right, I'm taking that one.
There's some guessing in this game. This is good. So is the point of the game for us to each round choose a different episode?
Oh.
Yes.
For some characters, that might be easier than others.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely 4 more episodes we could highlight.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to William T. Riker. Kevin.
Oh, I get to go first. That means I always get my picks. That's awesome. So
well, it's because I know you're the one that's prepared.
Got it. I chose an episode that really gets Riker outside his comfort zone, and that's Frame of Mind. Sort of a psychological torture of Riker. But when we think of Riker, we always think of him as being so put together and ready for anything and a ladies' man and like the sort of perfect Starfleet officer, and to take him out of that and put him in a situation where he really has no idea what's going on, and if he can even believe what he sees, I think is a really good character study of the character. So I chose Frame of Mind for Riker.
That's the episode I wanted to choose. So I'm glad that you brought it up. I love it as well. That psychological thriller is such an amazing episode. And to have Riker go through it and the looks that he gives, it's like, this guy is literally going insane. Like top notch. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I love that episode. It showcases Riker, but it also showcases Jonathan Frakes as an actor. For sure. Big time.
Yes, it does.
Every time I watch, I purposely had to watch this for a podcast recently. And every time I watch it, I immediately forget what it's about. Like, I have no clue is he been captured on the planet, or is he going insane because of the play that he's in, or is he using the fact that he's in this play to help him kind of withstand the alien torture? I have no clue. So I think it's one of those things. But yeah,
that's the purpose of the episode.
Yeah, I know, it confuses the hell out of me. It has this detrimental psychological effect on me.
Then it's doing its job.
True, yeah.
Great pick, Kevin.
Thank
you.
All
right, Rhea, how about you?
I'm going to go with Second Chances, because here we get to meet Will's transporter duplicate, Thomas Riker. And I've always thought it was so interesting how those two had such an adversarial relationship. Because I always thought that I would do it differently if I met my transporter twin. I'm like, oh my gosh, we need BFFs forever. So it always kind of struck me how I thought it was very telling how Will really resented Thomas and vice versa. But you get a little of backstory on Will Riker, but it's just a side of him that you don't see in any other episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good pick. And I actually appreciate the adversarial nature that they have, because we're in this world and we are unique. And then to have someone come and take that away from us. I don't know. Joe,
you said that last week. You said that exact same sentence last week when we were talking about Shinzon and Picard.
Yes, that's because it is a truth, I believe. We need to be unique, and to come across someone who, there you are. Ooh, I think that I would have an adversarial nature with my
that's an interesting one. So, Amy, I'm rereading, and you're reading / listening to the We Are Legion, We Are Bob books by Dennis E. Taylor. And the premise of that is that a guy gets selected as the kind of the controlling computer system of interstellar exploration probes that will go out and multiply themselves, mine for resources, 3D print new copies of themselves, and go on and further explore. So every iteration of Bob is an exact copy of the software. So he essentially is cloning himself, and each new Bob clone has to choose a different name. But we don't see much in that. We don't see much kind of... They all got on quite well together because they've got this purpose to go and explore. I don't know how I would deal with a copy of myself if I just turned up at my front door and was like, oh, hello. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but what's really cool about it is that, like, in Second Chances and in the books that we're reading, like, the duplicate has something different. You know, that there's a slight bit of personality. Like Thomas Riker, he wants to be with Deanna. Like, that's his choice. And he wouldn't have made the choice that Will did.
Right.
You know, and so it's so interesting to think about. I love it.
But does Thomas
Good
only
choice,
make that
Rhea.
decision because he's been stuck on a planet for so long?
Yeah.
And he's got this hope in his head that he'll one day get off and be able to be with his love.
It was the thought of Deanna that kept him going, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good choice.
All right, Joe. What about yours for William T. Riker?
Well, I was going to say it was a good enough choice because I also chose that one. So I've gone with my second pick instead. And that is the Icarus Factor.
Oh.
Yeah. That was my second.
Ah, cool. Which is a Pulaski episode, I suppose. Well, she's in it. It's not a Pulaski episode, but she's not my favourite Doctor. We get to meet Kyle Riker, who's Riker's dad, and he's sent on board as a kind of diplomat to sort something out. Well, he's sent on board because Riker has been offered his first command of the USS Ares, and Kyle is sent to brief him on that mission. So we get this bit of a backstory. We get to meet his dad. We get to find out that his dad had a relationship with Dr. Pulaski in the past. And again, like a lot of the episodes we're mentioning, we see our characters in some kind of situation that they're uncomfortable in. We see them being put through a bit of turmoil. So, yeah. Do you know what, with this topic, with Riker, it was an easy pick for everybody else, but Riker was difficult for me to pick.
Really?
Yeah. I see him as more of a side character than everybody else.
Oh.
I think.
For me, it was Geordi. Geordi was the hardest one to come up with a good episode for. But when we get to Geordi, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Amy?
Okay, so for my pick for Riker, I'm going to need help with the title. I'm so sorry. But it's the one where it's sort of like a psychological, because it's the kid and he's putting Riker through the different scenarios because the kid is an alien that was left behind.
Yes. That's the one where we see...
Future Imperfect, right?
Oh, Future Imperfect? Is that what you said?
Future Imperfect, yes. I love that episode. And again, Will is trying to figure out what's going on. Well, this isn't real. This isn't real. And then it's like, all right, I am not playing any more games. Show me what's going on. And then for him to have so much compassion and, you know, to take up the kid and the alien and say, all right, we're going to help you out. Like, I just think it's a really good Riker episode. And I love the drawback to Minuet. That's the giveaway. That's the tell.
Min Riker, yeah.
Yeah.
Riker holding that flame deep inside for that holodeck character.
That's right. And I really like on Future Imperfect the comm badges that they have. I actually have one of them.
Nice.
Cool.
And I like Future Picard all, I don't know, gussied up.
Yeah.
With his little
He
goatee.
is
Obviously,
gussied up.
in that future, Riker and Troy can't get married, really. Because Troy's off with
Right.
Captain Picard to be his PA.
Well, and plus, Riker and Minuet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Who'd you ship more, Amy, though?
Oh,
Yeah.
Deanna.
Was that a rhetorical question?
Yes. Okay, now there's lots to choose from. How about a Data episode, Kevin?
Okay, so my sort of theme for the episodes I've chosen are taking the characters and taking them out of their normal sort of situation and having them face something different. So with Data, I thought, what is the episode that does that the best? Well, how about an episode that sends him 400 years into the past by himself, Time's Arrow?
Nice.
He's on his own. He's got to live by his wits, and I love when he card sharks the poker players. I love that when he meets the Lady Guinan. I just think Data on his own in the 19th century is quite fun. So that's why I chose Time's Arrow for my Data episode.
Nice.
And we get
And where does he
Spock
get from?
vibes, don't we, from him building his wee machine in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Because Spock did
It's
the
like
same
sitting on
thing.
music forever.
Yeah.
And what does Data say? Does he say he's from France or from South America?
Oh, yeah, it was
South America.
Because Peru's the
America.
one, the holodeck.
the holodeck episode, yeah.
Yeah. In like season 1, isn't it?
So,
Yeah.
so that was my choice.
Good
Time's
choice.
Arrow.
Definitely, yeah.
Both parts, so you chose 2 episodes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I couldn't remember which part was more Data on his own. I think it's part 1, actually. So
Okay.
Yeah.
if I had to pick, it would be
I
Time's
chose
Arrow part
the
1.
episodes of the card.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Rhea.
Well, I went with because I had also been kind of going with ones where they're in different situations, but for Data, what better way than to have him tell us himself in Data's day?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one I went with, where he kind of just goes through his day to day, and anytime you get to see, Dr. Crusher tap dancing, I know that's not Data, but and just the fact that he was writing to Bruce Maddox and kept in touch with Bruce Maddox, who he'd had an adversarial relationship with back in A Measure of a Man. So, yeah, it just kind of showed where Data, I don't know, kind of his integrity, and that he's not a grudge holder. Of course, he's also an android, so can he hold a grudge? But yeah, that one's my pick.
That's interesting. I know it's a good episode, but it is never a go-to. It's cheesy, but yet I hear you saying it and I'm like, yeah, those are all good points. Yes, it's just not one that's I would ever choose to watch it.
It's a bit like a filler episode, isn't it? It's like nothing. It's like a day in the life of. It's like Lord X. Nothing of note happens. There's no big disaster. It's just, I'm going to read my diary to you.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah,
Miles and Kate getting married is nothing? Okay, I see. I'm just kidding.
And
No, yeah,
I think my
agree,
favourite
Joe.
bit in that episode is Keiko wanting to cancel the wedding and
yeah.
sending Data to go and tell Miles.
Yes.
Wedding's off. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, that is such a funny part. And Data is so confused. He's like, but if you love Keiko and this is what she wants, then why aren't you happy?
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Oh, it's me again. Okay, so for this episode, just because I love the science in it and it's so real, Thine Own Self. Oh, sorry, Amy. Data crash lands on the planet with some radioactive materials. He takes it to the little village with little people in it, and can't remember a thing about who he is or why he's there, but still has kind of all his mental faculties about him and just doesn't remember anything. And the best scene is where he's in the school with the teacher woman who's maybe also the doctor, I think, isn't she? Is she? I'm not sure.
She's the doctor.
But she's also teaching in the school. Is she?
No, that's a different teacher.
Is it a different person?
I mean, I know she may
seem
teach the
very
science consultant.
Maybe. But yeah, so she's explaining about the elements, the 4 elements, the earth, fire, the air, and the water, and how every substance has these 4 elements in it. But some are like the fire is buried deep within the stone, and it takes a lot to actually kind of tease it out. And Data's just giving her this side eye, saying, "No, that's not true in the slightest." So yeah, I like that as a kind of character study for Data when he's not himself, but he still sciences the hell out of everything.
Yes, that was my pick. Oh, that's what I get for going last. And when I was saying Kevin, and I was having you go first, and I'm like, man, I want to get my pick in. And this good pick, Joe.
Thank you.
So
We should randomize it.
have you thought of something else for Data then, Amy?
Yes. But again, I'll need help with the title. I think it's Journey's End. Is that the one where Data goes down and he's trying to get the people to pack up and leave?
No,
And
Journey's
they're like,
End is
"No,
the one
this-
with Wesley, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Traveler.
on the Cardassian planet, and the Traveler comes back. And then,
Yeah. Well, what's the one where he's trying to evacuate and they're like, we planted this tree, and the water, like their planet's
yeah,
gonna be.
and
Yes.
he blows up the aqueduct at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
That's a really good
is
Data
that not
episode,
season-
whatever it
It's
is.
quite early, isn't it? Season 2,
It is.
I think.
But again, it's Data learning how to, be a commander and to deal with people's biases against him, prejudices against him, and how he has to overcome that. I mean, he sort of does that in, is that the one with Tasha Yar in the net and when he's captain?
So the episode where you're thinking of is the Ensigns,
Ensigns
of
of
Command.
Command.
Ensigns of Command. Yes, that is the one. Yes. That's a very good Data episode.
It is. There's so many good Data episodes too, right?
Yeah.
There's anything with Lore or Dr. Sung. There's Pen Pals.
Oh, The Offspring.
The Offspring.
I should have picked that. Did anybody pick the Offspring? Oh,
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
no.
poor Lal.
Yeah.
So many. I think Data was a favorite character for the writers to create stories about.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, in essence, he's our Spock character.
Yeah.
And he's who we see humanity through because he's trying to learn about humanity. So,
right.
Okay, well, let's get on to Kevin's favorite, Geordie LaForge.
Geordie was not the focus of that many episodes, so I kind of reached a little bit to find a Geordie episode, and go with me on this. I chose Hollow Pursuits, which is the first Barclay episode, because in that episode, LaForge has to learn how to be a commander and how to lead his teams, even when he butts heads with or doesn't agree with or thinks his subordinates are idiots. As a character development episode, I think Hollow Pursuits is a great one for Geordie because he's, like I say, he's given the task of leading a team with someone who he doesn't really care for.
That's a good
That
one.
is a great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a true measure of someone's character because it's really easy to be nice to somebody that you like. But if you're in command of someone that you don't really care for, that takes a lot more strength of character, I guess.
No, you're right. It's that was why that. It's not that it's a Geordie focused episode because it's really about the guest star in that case, but he had such a big part in it that's what came to mind for me for Geordie.
Good choice.
Good. All right, Rhea, do you have a Geordie episode?
I do. And I actually, there were quite a few that I had to pick from, I guess. I was really tempted to pick Aquiel just because it's Aquiel, but I'm going to go with The Enemy. And that's the one where basically Geordie's stranded on an asteroid or planetoid with a Romulan, and they have to, work together to survive. And I thought it was, one of the few episodes where Geordie's in that kind of a situation. And, really liked how he handled himself, and he didn't have any, racism or anything toward the Romulans. So I like that one for Geordie.
That is a really good one. That was my second choice, so I'm glad you chose that.
Yay!
Good shout.
Yes. Okay, Joe?
I have chosen an obvious one, I think. The next phase, which is the one where him and Ensign Rowe die, but don't die. They've been cloaked and phased by some Romulan device. And they have a memorial on board for them because they've died, and they have to, again, science the hell out of everything to try and get them to recognise that they're not actually dead. They've just been cloaked and phased while not falling through the floor.
Don't split hair.
Bit silly, but yeah, I do enjoy that even though I don't like Raw, and Geordie kind of annoys me with the Coco no-nos all the time. So yeah, it's a good episode for both of them.
It is. I totally forgot about that as a Geordie episode, but that totally fits.
I think it's one of the only ones I could think of, really.
Huh. Well, my favorite Geordie episode is Identity Crisis, and we've talked a lot about this. I always bring it up in my math moments, but this is the one where his friend Susanna and they were on a away mission, and then people keep disappearing from their away mission. So they go down and they get Geordie gets partially turned into this amphibian-like different alien, and they have to figure it all out. I think it's a great Geordie episode. Lots of science. Him, we really see his stubbornness in this, which, and we get to see him in a good friendship with Susanna that's not creepy.
Yeah.
And it's somebody we've never met before as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Well, you know how I feel. There's not enough platonic relationships on TV, so I've always appreciated their relationship.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Crusher. What episodes you got for her, Kevin?
My favorite Dr. Crusher episode is Remember Me. Again, I don't think there's a ton of great Crusher episodes. She's a great character who's totally underserved on the show. And so Remember Me is the creme de la creme of Beverly episodes. When she decides that if she's not crazy, the universe must be, then that is a strong character when she decides that she is more important than the entire universe. So I love her for that. So
and it turns out that she's right. The universe is
there is crazy, something wrong with the universe. So Remember Me is not just a great Beverly episode. It's one of my all-time favorite episodes of Next Generation. I love that episode so much. So, Remember Me.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I think you spend so much of your time throughout the episode being confused about why everybody's disappearing. It's not until I think maybe the latter half of the episode where you're told that she's stuck in this static warp bubble. Like, why is she actually going insane? Is she not going insane? What's wrong? But she's right. She's got this singular vision to free herself and escape.
Yep, she's a very strong-willed and smart person who, if I needed emergency surgery, I would entirely trust my life in her hands.
I would like to need emergency surgery just so she could do it.
All right, Maria.
Well, of course, that was my first pick, and again, just that line that where Crusher says I'm not crazy. It's the universe that's that's wrong. Yeah. But now I'm trying to think because I didn't have a second pick. Thine Own Self, which aired on Valentine's Day 1994. That's actually, we brought that up earlier as a Data episode, where he kind of has amnesia on that planet. But that's where we see that Dr. Crusher is in charge of the night shift on the Enterprise. And that's where Deanna kind of gets inspired to take the commander's test herself. So I guess what I like about Thine Own Self for Dr. Crusher is that you see this whole new side of her. You see, you see Dr. Crusher on the command track, which of course we see more of in, what's the last episode called?
All Good Things?
Blanking out. All Good Things, right. In the alternate future where she's a captain. So, and curious to see, where she is now in Picard season 3. But it all kind of started with Thine Own Self.
Who are we on? Crusher? Dr. Beverly? What did I choose for Dr. Beverly? There's really not a Dr. Beverly episode, but if it wasn't for her, the whole episode would not have been resolved. And that is Clues. With her moss. She can't figure out why the moss has grown too much. And that's the one where they've gone somewhere to a planet and there's a wormhole and something, and then turns out there's really powerful aliens that are going to destroy the ship. So they decide to wipe the crew's memory and wipe all evidence that they've ever been there, and plant data, not the character, that's like information, in the computer, so they don't really feel inclined to go back. But there's some details that they keep on missing on the ship, like Dr. Crusher's red diacidian moss that has grown far too much for the time period that has elapsed. And it's Dr. Beverly that really figures it out.
Agreed. I'm just going to tag along. This isn't my choice, but I feel like Cause and Effect is a Beverly Crusher too, sort of, because it's her and that Sherry Glass and the repeat. Like, she's the first one to recognize, I've felt this before, I've seen this before. So
yeah. Harry for alcoholism and Sherry before bed.
My kind of woman.
Is it
no, like I said, that's... She's a doctor. She can handle it.
That's right. Medicinal synthahol.
Yeah, synthahol. So, yeah, that's not my pick. Oh, but now I can't decide which one. There's so many good ones.
We will help you with the episode name.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go with Attached.
Oh.
Do I want to? Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, for Beverly and to have them communicating. I mean, of course, it's a good Picard and Beverly. But what I love is at the end of the episode, and I was just watching, what's the episode where Picard is taken away and his duplicate is left on the ship?
I just saw that too a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and that's the one.
Allegiance.
And yes, Allegiance. And that fake Picard invites Beverly, and the fake Picard, says, well, maybe we should, do this more often. And again, it's Picard asking to have a more substantial relationship with Crusher. In Attached, we see the same thing at the end. And Picard's like, well, maybe we should. And it's Crusher every single time that's like, hold on, let's just be friends. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to go down that road. Like, she's the one every single time that's putting on the brakes, knowing who she is, knowing what kind of relationship she wants and owning it. Like, I love it. Love it. Love it for that.
Agreed. Great choice. And we don't see enough of that in TV, I think.
Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's choices.
Let's do Worf.
On Counselor Deanna Troi. I'm hosting, so y'all get behind this.
Oh, that's the way it's going to be. Okay, well, then there is no better Troi episode then, and everybody's going to go, oh, that was my pick. Face of the Enemy.
Ah, that was my pick.
Ah.
Yeah,
But you're
no,
right.
I don't think there's a better Troy episode than Face of the Enemy. Again,
No.
it's Troy out of her comfort zone, having to face her own fears, having to think on her feet, and she's alone in a very strange and dangerous situation, but she never loses her cool. She does what she's told up to a point because she knows she has to in order to survive. She does everything everything she does to stay alive and to get back home. And if she stirs up some trouble in the Romulan Empire while she's there, more the better. So yeah, Face of the Enemy is the ultimate Deanna Troi episode in my opinion.
You're definitely
Good choice. All right, Rhea. So what's left?
There's a few, but I think that I'm going to go with Cost of Living.
Oh.
You know, I think anytime, of course, we have Lwaxana, we learn a little more about Troy. But Cost of Living, I don't know, it's much maligned, but I don't think it's that bad of an episode. I've always kind of enjoyed it, except for, I don't know, the creepy holodeck stuff. But you get to see more nuance in Lwaxana, or in Deanna and Lwaxana's relationship, but also to see Troy's relationship with Worf, and then how she helps with Alexander is kind of course, I think in that particular episode, Lwaxana is probably has the most influence on Alexander, but less of Troy being the ship's counselor and more Troy family dynamics, but that's Worf and Alexander as family. So, and it's kind of fun.
It is. I like that episode too. The higher, the fewer.
What about you?
But I'm a bit stuck between two. I think I have to go with. Let's go with The Loss. Is that the one where the Enterprise is trapped in the two-dimensional entities and they're being dragged towards the singularity, and as a consequence of that, Deanna loses her empathic abilities. She loses a really important sense, and she has to come to terms with that. And it doesn't. She doesn't do it very well. She really, really struggles. But I think you would go through all those stages of grief, and you'd be angry, and you would lash out at the people that cared for you, until you slowly start to come to terms with it. And by the end of the episode, she has, but then she gets her powers back. So it's a good character study for her, I think.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this episode. I'm so glad you chose that one. Oh.
You're welcome.
I love that one because there's really good math moments in that too. Oh, I love The Loss. Oh, can I ask what your other one you debated on?
Loud as a Whisper.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's.
Because she uses her. Yeah.
Yeah,
she's a good counselor.
I love
in
that
one.
episode too.
Yeah.
So interesting. Since you said Loud as a Whisper, now I don't have to use that one. So thank you for doing that for me. But I am going to choose The Child. In part because this is obviously a very good Deanna Troi episode, but also an important episode for Marina Sirtis. Because at the end of season 1, we know that one woman was on the chopping block. Thankfully for Marina, Denise Crosby stepped down. And so we've got opening season 2 Deanna episode. And what a relief it was, because she was just so worried to get this script that she is, sort of the lead for the episode, the beginning of season 2, when just a few months ago, she was worried if she was even going to have a job. But what I like for Troy's character is that, yeah, she has this alien invasion and is so graceful about it, is so protective and willing to go through this process with Ian. this alien. And I'm just like, that's crazy. And she has to, that scene in the conference room where she's like, you do whatever you must, but I'm going to have this child. You're not going to tell me what to do. And oh my gosh, all that says of her women's rights and for over their bodies. Absolutely love it and think it's a really good episode. I enjoy it.
Agreed.
It's a very powerful episode.
All right, well, let's get on to Lieutenant Commander Worf.
Okay, well, I am not a fan of the Klingon epics. So, when it came to Worf and my sort of theme of getting the characters out of their comfort zone, the first episode that comes to mind for me is Parallels.
Of course, you choose Parallels.
It's Worf bouncing through alternate timelines. Did he win the Batleth tournament? Or did he come in third? Did he not even place? Was he an honorable mention? Did he not make it to the tournament? All of these possibilities are things that could have happened. I love his confusion when he comes home and finds Deanna in his quarters. It's Worf. It's a comedy episode in a lot of ways because it's Worf having no clue what's going on and why things are different. And then it ends with that great scene of thousands of Enterprises on the screen at once. And so it, like I say, because it's not a Klingon epic with all the politics and intrigue of the House of Moog, that is why Parallels is my favorite Worf episode.
Yeah, I think that's maybe unanimous there, possibly. I think it's a go-to one for all of us.
Yeah, such a good episode.
Yeah. Well, I am a fan of the Klingon intrigue and Klingon drama and all that. Worf was a tough one for me because there are a lot of Worf episodes. I don't know. In my opinion, so many good ones because again, I love all the Klingon stuff. But I think I'm gonna have to go with another two-parter and go with Redemption Parts 1 and 2. And despite Sela, who I just can't stand. But the biggest reason, of course, being that, Worf is undiscommendated. So his, obviously redemption.
How would we say that?
Commendated?
Or commendated, yeah. If he was discommendated, then
Recommendated?
Accommodated.
Accommodated.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Klingon ones, but yeah, there are those points like his discommendation and then his undiscommendation. They're quite powerful character moments, aren't they? For him, you can almost feel the emotion in those points. So.
Well, and the strategy behind it and when to, come out with the reveal and everything is good too.
And the implications, with his whole discommendation that it had on Alexander, of course, would Worf have accepted discommendation had he known Alexander existed? And now that he was commendated, he could accept Alexander as the son. Of course, well, we know what a good father Worf ended up being, but...
Okay, so I was going to choose Parallels also, but my second pick would be Ethics. Which is the one where the really light plastic barrel falls on him and he breaks his spine.
Yeah.
And there's just so much in this episode about how he's going to cope, a powerful Klingon warrior is going to cope with this being paralysed from the neck down. And he wants to undergo ritual suicide, and he wants Riker to do it. And then I think at one point, does he not ask Alexander to do it?
Yeah, because Riker points out that if you want to follow tradition, this goes to your son.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's not happening. And how he eventually kind of comes around to the idea of having these implants that are going to help him walk around, but he's obviously really struggling with it. And then that evil doctor woman grows him a new spine. Much to Dr. Crusher's. It's Crusher, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, much to our annoyance. So yeah, great Worf episode.
I totally forgot about that one. I love that episode. That is a very good Worf episode.
I was thinking of that as a Beverly Crusher episode as well. That was on my short list for Beverly.
Definitely. That's the
wish I'd
benefit
thought
of
of that.
doing research, Amy.
Oh, thank you.
Do your homework.
Yeah, I'm too busy doing like my real homework.
Real homework, yeah.
Do my hobby homework.
Yeah.
All right. So for my Worf episode, I do like the Klingon lore and stuff, and I do enjoy when Worf goes to find Kahless. And again, you'll have to help me with that episode. Where he goes up and he's praying, and then they find the blood
clone.
and
Yeah.
Think of it.
that episode, listeners, is what I'm trying. So you're screaming at me, and yes, I'm getting it. But what I love is that he's so introspective, and I feel like it's sort of
Rightful
it's later
heir.
in this rightful heir. Thank you. That he's like trying to figure out where is he with his Klingon culture and this religion, and he really like dives in. There was a time when I was very much into religion, and like I did a deep dive, and I remember just that feeling, and I think it really comes through with how he's trying to find peace, but is it really there? And then of course it goes off, but I love that deep dive into Stovako and Kahless and the stories and the history and the just sort of the whole background of the Klingon culture.
And going to the planet Boris,
Yeah.
became a big discovery and Strange New World.
Mm-hmm.
But there were no time crystals at that point. It makes the whole Klingon Empire less monolithic, doesn't it? They're not all just warriors.
Right.
There's obviously scientists that clone, and there's the religious aspect of it as well. Yeah, okay.
I was hoping someone would say reunion when Kalar comes back with Alexander. So I really wanted to, I was between those two, but yeah.
My other one would be Emissary, because I like the first one of meeting Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one too. Yep. A lot of good Worf ones.
Yeah.
Or a lot of Worf ones if you don't think they're good.
My other one was going to be, what's the one where he finds the Romulan Klingon colony
That's
that are
Birthright.
living together? That part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty much solely on the colony, isn't it?
Okay, well, let's move on to Wesley Crusher.
Wesley
All
Crusher.
right, Kevin.
I think there are quite a few good Wesley moments, but the episode I'm going to pick is Final Mission, which is Wesley's departure from the Enterprise. He's on a shuttle card. There's that alien captain. They get trapped on a planet, and Wesley has to step up because Picard is injured. It seems like this is culmination of this form of Wesley Crusher. You know, this is Wesley Crusher who I want to go to Starfleet and be the best officer I can be. And I like that Wesley. I mean, Traveler Wesley's all great too, but I like human Wesley better, I think. And this is the pinnacle of human Wesley, is becoming really, really connecting with Picard as his mentor and father figure, and stepping up when he needs to. So that is my Final Mission, is my Wesley Crusher episode choice.
I love that episode too.
Yeah, he goes through a bit of an evolution in that episode. Kind of having to share the shuttle with Picard and it's not a shuttle, it's a wee alien rubbishy spacecraft, isn't it? And the alien captain and all that friction that entails of being in close quarters for a prolonged period of time. And then, obviously, he's in charge at the end. Because Picard's injured and the alien captain guy isn't very useful.
No.
So,
Yeah, Wesley really has to step it up, and he really becomes a Starfleet officer in that episode.
Yeah. And it's before
and
his
then squanders
disgrace.
it.
Yeah.
To become a traveller.
Well, that's the episode I picked. I think is kind of the beginning of that transition, the first duty, and It is fresh on my mind because Captain Mike and I discussed it, somewhat in depth 2 episodes ago, Galaxy Class episode 98, TNG at the helm. But this, of course, is where Wesley's preparing to graduate, or preparing for the graduation at Starfleet Academy. He and Nova Squadron had this, elaborate starburst flight maneuver plan, and there's an accident, and a cadet gets killed, and then there's the cover-up and all that. So Wesley's tested, between his loyalties toward his, his Nova Squadron mates, and then I think if it was anyone but Captain Picard, Wesley probably would have stuck with the lie and stuck with the cover-up. But when Picard, I think his loyalty for Picard and realizing, of course, the first duty is to the truth is kind of what caused him to fess up. But I think it was the first time in his life maybe, that he became somewhat disillusioned with Starfleet, because his whole life he was this wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, Starfleet doesn't lie, and this is what he was going to do, ever since the time he was, born, probably. This was his path, and this might have been the first time that he ever questioned it. So I think if it weren't for this incident, maybe something else would have happened. But this opened the door for him to, quit Starfleet and become a traveler.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that disillusionment is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like that, the peer pressure. I mean, we've all experienced it. Like, it's real, and it really is showcased here.
Okay. Me, Wesley, the game. Wesley's amazing in this because he's up against the rest of the crew, essentially. Well, he's got Robin Leffler on his side, and they have to evade capture. He has to evade capture by Worf and Riker at points, and has cool wee transporter programs, and all sorts of things that he's put in place to avoid being captured so he doesn't become addicted to the game. It's just a very cool Wesley episode.
It is.
He's on top of his game in terms of Starfleet. Love it.
Yes, that was my pick.
Oh, sorry, Amy.
On top of his game.
Okay, so you'll have to help me out with my episode. It's the one where he's being tested to join Starfleet Academy.
Oh, that's season 1.
Yeah. Or 2?
No, it's season 1. I'm sure it's season 1.
There's the Benzai and it's Murdoch.
Yeah, and going through
there's-
all the different tests is really good. And how humble he is, but then, how cute he is. There's a cute little flirting going on. But him helping Murdoch or the
coming of age.
Yes, coming of age. Yep. And how he's, just really quick on his feet. And when he runs into the combative guy, Ronan, I think his name is, or something like that. And yeah, I mean, and he's so intelligent, but yet also has the experience, which is brought out by the others. And unfortunately, he didn't make the cut, but yet still perseveres. And, life, that's going to happen. You're going to try for something and it doesn't happen, but you just keep on going. I just think it's a really good episode for Wesley to highlight his strengths and how it may be a little too much, like how quote unquote perfect he is. But that's sort of why he's on the Enterprise D. It's the best of the best.
Right.
Sorry, I don't have anything to add to that.
No.
All right. Well, let's just finish up. What's an episode that comes to mind where we get to see the entire crew working together?
The first thing that came to mind for me, where everybody seemed to have something to do, something specific to do, something different to do, was Disaster. The ship is falling apart, and there's no communication between anybody, so they all have to just pick up where they are, do what they have to do, and get it done. Deanna has to step up and captain the ship. Worf has to deliver a baby. Picard has to deal with kids, right? Everybody's got something going on. Everybody's got something to do. And even though there's nobody there like Captain Picard can't give orders to everybody, they all step up and they all do what needs to get done. So when this one came up as what's one episode that the entire crew works well together, Disaster was the first thing that came to mind.
Good choice.
Yes. And what a fun episode, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say, all right, Rhea, we are now ready for your time to shine, because this is the episode that you thought of for today's podcast.
Well, and I'll be, I guess, coming full circle. And so it's the one I mentioned for Picard, which is Chain of Command parts 1 and 2. But if that breaks the rules that I picked the same episode twice, then let me change my Picard one to Starship Mine, because why didn't I pick that one anyway? Because that's the best Picard one. But anyway.
All right, we will allow the substitution.
Okay. Substituting Starship Mine for Picard, we'll go with Chain of Command. And I really like that whole, 2-part episode. And I like how you get to see the crew in a slightly different, in a different dynamic, because once Picard's gone and you have Jellicoe on board, that really changes, just the crew relationships. And because he dislikes Riker right off the bat, then you get to see Data as the number one. You get to see kind of everyone in a different situation, bringing out a different side. I mean, I guess Riker doesn't necessarily shine in that episode, but you see a different side of him too. So yeah, Chain of Command. Good
choice. Joe, what have you got for the whole crew?
Oh, it's me. Whole crew. Mine's was Disaster as well. Whole crew. I might have to stick with Disaster. Because that's the best example. We all see them individually, without direction, doing what has to be done.
True.
And I don't think there's anything, or nothing comes to mind that really does it in the same way.
What about Star Trek First Contact?
Well, then I was going to go with a movie, maybe.
The movies are mostly Data and Picard, though.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Okay, well, while you're thinking on Give Mine, because I don't want you to think of mine. So I've just got to go with All Good Things. To see the crew working together to try and figure out in each of the... I mean, I know it's a Picard and Q thing, but the whole... summation of the 7 years together and the callbacks to the beginning and the iconic poker scene at the end. That's them coming together. I love it. And I'm going to start crying. Yeah. But just the feeling of them together is so well done in All Good Things. It is by far my favorite season finale, series finale. There's nothing better than All Good Things.
It's a very good choice.
Yes.
Well, I suppose...
Well, I was thinking Clues. Is that not one? Where they all sort of have something to figure out? McDuffie?
Conundrum.
Conundrum.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I suppose if we're not really sticking to the rules much, I'm going to choose the entire arc of episodes that is Star Trek The Next Generation. Which really highlights the whole crew and the ship and everybody that's ever been on it.
Yes.
Quite beautifully. If you've got a spare 150 hours, you could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's my choice.
It's a very good choice.
Yes.
I thought hard about that.
In a few months, we might be able to choose Picard season 3.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Final thoughts for 100 episodes of Galaxy Class.
Woohoo!
It's been a fun ride. I think I had no idea what was going on when you invited me on to the old show back in the day, and here we are, 100 weeks after that show ended, and we're still at it. And I think the most important thing is that I've got 3 great new friends out of this, and not to mention all the listeners, but I consider you 3 some of my closest friends. And even though we are thousands of kilometers apart, it's so great to be able to chat with you guys every week. So thank you for letting me be part of these 100 episodes.
I don't think I could put that any better, really, Kevin. Well, thank you. It's always fun. This was more difficult than I thought. I was very organised and I had my wee list and I had my backups. But then when people steal your choices, and you have to really think on your feet, and then you have to memorise, or you have to think about other people's choices and how they are important. Yeah, it's quite tough, but enjoyable. It always is.
Yeah, it's nice that, when's the last time the 4 of us have been together, especially in the summer? It's kind of hard. We're all over the place, especially you, Amy. But to be at this together for 2 years, and I agree with you, Kevin, I just adore the 3 of you. I'm so grateful that we're all, we've got this thing going here, and how perfect that for our 100th episode, we're all 4 together, and we're talking about the entire crew of the Enterprise D. So it's perfect.
Yeah, well, I'm just surprised 100 episodes later that we still have listeners. Thank you so much for subscribing and for listening to us week in, week out. I really am truly amazed and appreciate all the love and support we have from the listeners. I also, yes, love you guys. I'm so grateful that we have become fast friends, that we can travel and experience Star Trek together. I consider you guys my Trek family, and here we are, 100 weeks. Yeah, after all of the networks we've been through and trying to organize ourselves, we've stuck it out. I think this is one that will last for the next 100 episodes.
Well, that's a lot.
And all the networks that will be on with that.
It's a good thing we have less battles to fall back on, because I don't know what we're going to talk for the next 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incoming transmission.
Well, we would love to hear what you thought of today's episodes and tell us your picks if they didn't get mentioned. You can do that on the BQN Collective. That's our Facebook listeners group. You can also tweet us at Galaxy Class Pod. Or on Instagram at BQN Podcasts.
Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. So Kevin, where can people find you when you're not essentially cheating by going first in every round?
That wasn't on me. That was not on me. That was on our moderator. But I appreciate it. But when I'm not doing that, I am on True North Nerds, a local geek and nerdery podcast, and Stage Whispers, the local theater podcast. And next week you can find me at the American Clown Academy in Eatonton, Georgia.
Woo-hoo.
And Rhea, where can people find you when you're not lying on a Greek beach?
Oh gosh, sleeping in my Greek bed, because hiking in the Greek mountains, because that's the plan for the next few days anyway, is an either or. But when I'm ripped away from my glorious beach, you can find me on the BQN Collective, usually posting silly memes. You can email me at riapod47@gmail.com. I occasionally check that email. Still waiting for any listener feedback. Or email the podcast at, what's our email? Galaxyclass at BQN.
Contact at BQ.
Contact at BQN.
I don't think we should say that.
No, never mind. Just find me on the BQN Collective. So Amy, where can people find you when you are not traversing the globe visiting your Star Trek family?
Oh, if I could do that full time, I literally would absolutely be going to Trek family to Trek family. Oh my gosh. That's the dream. That's the goal. Okay, I'm working. So when I'm not doing that, I will be teaching young children mathematics. I'm be now more consistent in the podcasting where you can listen to me on All Good Things, which is here on BQN, Union Federation, and of course on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson. But again, favorite place on the BQN Collective on Facebook. Joe, where can people find you when you are done being the endless? Or is there an end to the endless?
No. We traverse
dear.
the multiverse. We are infinite.
Then where are people going to be able to find you?
I don't know. I will outlive all of our listeners and all the networks we're ever going to be on. But when I'm not being endless, which is never, you can email me, joepodcasts@gmail.com. And like Rhea, nobody ever emails it. So yeah, it's just taking up space on the interwebs. You can find me on the BQN Collective on Facebook. And you can tweet me on the Twitter at JoeyJoe77UK and also on Instagram.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We're putting out more exclusive content for our patrons that you won't want to miss, like It's Green or Amy's Math Moments. With a monthly Patreon subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings of the Hive Mind on the second Saturday of each month. Watch your Patreon messages for details. If you feel so inclined, please check out all the details at patreon.com/BQN. A huge shout out to our very own associate producer, the one and only, the master of trivia, Jim McMahon. We are so grateful for your support.
Now, at this time, we would like to thank our executive producers who make this all possible. They are Mark White, Amy Nelson, Tony Robinson, and Ken Tripp. Special thanks go to Tony Robinson for our artwork each week.
Thank you for beaming aboard Galaxy Class. And until next time.
I planted radishes in this special dirt and they came up all weird.
There are 4 lights! Stay classy, Galaxy.
So, 5-card stud, nothing wild, and the sky's the limit.
Great joy and gratitude.
Engage.
Sorry, Rhea, what was the name of that episode you mentioned? I know that I just missed the name.
The enema. I mean, the enemy.
The enemy.
And Joe, where can people find you? Oh man, I had one for you.
Oh.